The writers' strike has upended production in Hollywood and Hollywood North, and sooner or later that's going to have an impact on what viewers actually see. So joining us now, NPR's TV critic Eric Deggans, and from Los Angeles, Brittani Nichols, an actor, comedian, and WGA-affiliated writer. Brittani, let's start with you. Can you help us to understand the strike from the writers' perspective? What are you asking for and why?
Sure. Right now, we're striking because screenwriting has been devalued by the studios. Writer pay is down, and we are looking to add protections to our contract that will allow our profession to continue to exist. The advent of streaming by the studios has become an existential threat to our jobs because the pay model has not changed to meet the new realities of this business, and it doesn't allow writers to share in the success of the shows that we work for.
And Eric, we're sort of heading into rerun season now. So can you talk about how this conflict actually affects viewers, given that, a lot of the writing for new seasons actually starts now?
Sure. It may be tough for some viewers to perceive that there's much difference because some of the effects are longer term. Of course, we've seen the late night shows like Stephen Colbert's The Late Show and Jimmy Kimmel Live. They stopped production. Saturday Night Live has gone dark. Some daytime shows, The Talk and some soap operas, have gone dark. If you try to watch, or if you watch the MTV movie and TV awards on Sunday night, you realize that they essentially presented a clip show because the host Drew Barrymore dropped out of doing a live show because she was concerned that the WGA was going to picket, and she didn't want to cross the picket lines, and many other performers and presenters felt the same way. So there are some obvious effects, but a lot of this is going to be longer term. The streaming services in particular have a long pipeline of material. Netflix says it can last the entire year without worrying about new material. And the broadcast networks have just ended a TV season. So while this would affect preparations for next TV season, they're winding down their seasons already now. So for viewers, it may take a little while for them to notice, but the industry will notice much sooner.
Brittani, what's stopping these productions, from using Canadian writers or rather writers from other countries?
Well, I think what's interesting is that though the studios don't seem to have morals, other people do. And so what we've seen is a strong showing of solidarity from writers' unions in other countries. We've had showings from UK and Canada, and these are people who are, proud of the contracts that the WGA and WGA West and East have come up with. They wish that they had our contracts, and they're not going to do anything to weaken us because they're still fighting to have the things that we're fighting for. We really see this as a fight that's here to benefit so many people in the entertainment industry, not just in America. These are things that can be replicated elsewhere, and they don't want to undercut us.
I'm sure that what we will see is that we'll see some networks use Canadian TV shows, which happened during the last strike, and which has also kind of been happening in broadcast anyway. We've seen shows from Canada and Britain imported by platforms like AMC and the CW anyway. So I imagine we'll see more of that. And I also imagine we'll see more unscripted content. We're already seeing Dancing with the Stars move from Disney Plus back to ABC. We've seen some other big unscripted shows announced. So we're expecting to see a rise in unscripted, a rise in some foreign shows, but it's still early days. I mean, it hasn't even been a week yet.
Okay, so Brittani, a lot of them standing in solidarity with you, but can you also talk about, the importance of staying consistent with writers? You're a writer on Abbott Elementary. How, problematic would it be if it was somebody else who stepped in?
Well, I think it would be a pretty different show. I mean, you have to consider that the creator of the show is in the WGA. There is no continuity of the story and the vision that she set out to execute without her. She's striking as well.
Damn, America does have talent.
Of course, I'm going to say that, we want every single writer back and able to make a living and to make this something that every writer on every show can continue to show up. And those streamers that are cutting their seasons off after one or two seasons, like, you're depriving an audience. When you're not letting creators tell the story as they intend it, you're making the product worse. And we've seen that happen over the past several years, and it will continue to happen if we aren't treated the way that we should be.
So, Brittani, why should the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers hurry up and agree on a new contract?
Because we're going to cause them a lot of pain with this strike. I mean, we're cutting off their pipeline. I think that people see writing as something that just happens when you're literally sitting at a computer and typing words onto a screen. Even shows that are in production now that we haven't shut down yet, but probably will. There's writing that goes on while you're shooting that. Everything is rewriting, editing. There are changes and tweaks on the day. The job of a writer is something that is present from the moment that the idea happens until it's literally showing up on your screen. So though these shows might get made, the product of them, the quality of that product is diminished because we're not there. And we are cutting off the pipelines for any other shows to get made. And if you want new shows, then you should be telling the studios to make a fair proposal to the demands that we want.
Brittani, Eric, thank you.